Hi, welcome to Cbse Board Economics. My name is Saddam Hussain. Welcome to the first class of Class 11 Economics. This year, you're facing a new subject, economics. Of course, you studied economics in class 9, 10th. That economics has nothing to do with the economics you are going to study in class 11 and 12. The economic fundamentals which you will be learning in 11th and 12th will help you in your higher education. This year, you will be exposed to microeconomics, which you will be studying in undergraduation and post-graduation level, whether you studied in India or abroad. Next year, you will be studying macroeconomics. That, of course, will help you when you go for higher classes, whether going to study in DU or you are going to study abroad. And this year, you have one more book, that is Statistics for Economics. Those statistics, basics, you have been exposed in maths like mean, median, mode. And next year, you will be studying one more book, Indian Economic Development. So in 11th and 12th, you will be having 4 books, microeconomics in class 11, macroeconomics in class 12. Statistics you have this year and Indian economic development next year. So these 2 years are going to be quite interesting for economics, which will generate your interest in Indian economy, how the economy is working as it should be working, why there is unemployment in the country, why there is poverty, why there is inflation, why there is deflation or depression in the economy, why the balance of payments deficit in the economy, and why the foreign exchange rate sometimes goes up and sometimes goes down, and why the demand for the commodities is going up, and why we are not able to meet the supply according to the increasing demand. And we'll be studying about the consumer behavior, we'll be studying about producers in class 11 and how the prices are determined. To start with, the first unit and the first topic and the first chapter you have this year is Introduction to Microeconomics. In that you have the first concept you have is, what is basic economic problem? What exactly is basic economic problem? You can see it here. I wrote it few things. I'll be explaining you. First, let me read out. So what exactly is basic economic problem? All the economies in the world have to face this basic economic problem. Whether it is a developed economy like USA, or a developing economy like India, or an underdeveloped economy like Nigeria, or for that matter, a capitalist economy like USA again, or UK, or Australia, Germany and France, or a socialist economy like China, or earlier Russia, or a mixed economy like India. They all have to face it. Whether it is a developed economy or developing underdeveloped economy, whether it is a capitalist economy or a socialist economy or mixed economy. All rich countries, all poor countries have to face this problem. What exactly is basic economic problem? To sum it up in one line, we can say basic economic problem is the problem of choice because of unlimited wants and limited resources which have alternate uses. What it means, we'll be explaining in detail. So the basic economic problem arises because of the following reasons. We can explain, understand the reasons behind the basic economic problem of any economy in this world. What exactly is basic economic problem? How does it arise? So we'll see it in detail. The first point is human wants are unlimited. What it means, there is no end to human wants. As soon as one want is fulfilled, another want crops up. That's why it's rightly said, man is a bundle of wants. So to take an example, when you don't have a cycle, you think of buying a small cycle. That's not the end of your want in life. Then you think of buying a scooty. Once if you get a scooty, that's not the end of your want. Then you think of buying a small car. Once if you get a small car, then you think of buying a big car, maybe BMW or Merc. Once if you get a Merc, that's not the end of your want, then you think of buying Ferrari. Once if you get even a very luxurious car, then you think of buying your own jet aircraft. So that sums up all the things. There's no end to human wants. As soon as one want is fulfilled, another want crops up. The same analogy, we can put it for the economy. So the economy wants never come to an end. People keep on, first in India, you take the example of India, first we never had phones. We never had mobile phones. Now every day new development, every day new technology. 2G, 3G, 4G, and now 5G, we are going to get it. And that's not the end of it. We keep on exploring new and new possibilities. So that rightly sums it up. Human wants are unlimited. There is no end to human wants. As soon as one want is fulfilled, another want crops up. That's why it's rightly said, man is a bundle of wants. Luckily for us, all wants do not have the same intensity. Some wants are very urgent and some wants can be postponed. Which are the urgent wants? Food, clothing, shelter. First, man tries to fulfill these urgent wants. Once these are fulfilled, then he go in for luxuries. If all the wants have the same intensity, then we would have died. We would not be able to fulfill all our wants. That's the first point. So please remember, human wants are unlimited. There is no end to human wants. That's why we can sum it up in one sentence. Wants are insatiable. Insatiable means they never come to an end. And the second point, resources are limited. What do you mean by resources in economics? We can classify all the resources of the economy into 4 categories. We call them as 4 factors of production, which are these: land, labor, capital, and enterprise or entrepreneurship. Remember once again, resources are limited. All the resources of the economy, we can classify them into 4 categories and we call them as 4 factors of production. That's land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Of course, without this, you just can't produce anything to fulfill human wants. Without land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Without land, we just can't grow anything. You can't have any factories. Without labor, nothing can be produced. Without capital, machines, nothing can be produced. And without price or entrepreneur, without entrepreneur, we can't produce anything. So these resources are limited. Human wants are limited, but the resources are limited. Or we can call them as scarce. Scarcity. The third point, these resources have alternative uses. What do you mean by alternative uses? That is, if you put a resource for one particular use, you can't put it for another use. For example, you have a piece of land. On that land, you can grow rice, wheat, maize, bajra, so many things you can grow. But if you're growing rice, you won't be able to grow wheat. So these resources are not only limited, but they have alternative uses. Human wants are unlimited, resources are scarce or limited, and these resources have alternative uses. Not that resources we put it only for specific use, they have many uses, and that's why we have to make a choice. That problem of choice is called basic economic problem. We have to make a choice. So in our earlier example, which I told you, was on a piece of land, you can grow rice, wheat, maize, bajra or sugarcane. Since you cannot grow all of them, you have to make a choice. That problem of choice is called basic economic problem. That problem of choice is called basic economic problem. In case you want to sum it up, the entire thing, in case there is a question in the exam, what exactly is basic economic problem for 1 mark, you don't have to elaborate so much, you just sum it up in one line. Basic economic problem is the problem of choice because of unlimited wants, unlimited resources which have alternate uses. I repeat, basic economic problem is problem of choice because of unlimited wants, unlimited resources which have alternate uses. If it comes for 3 or 4 marks, then you sum up the whole thing. How does basic economic problem arise? All the economies in the world have to face it, whether it is a developed economy or a developing economy or underdeveloped economy, whether it is a capitalist economy or a socialist economy or a mixed economy, whether it is a rich economy or poor economy. For that matter, every individual has to face it. What exactly is basic economic problem? Basic economic problem, a problem of choice because of unlimited wants, unlimited resources which have alternate uses. If you want to elaborate, we can elaborate the points once again. Human wants are unlimited. There is no end to human wants. As soon as one want is fulfilled, another want crops up. That's why it's rightly said, wants are insatiable. They never come to an end. Maybe the wants come to an end only when you die. Till that time, people keep on asking something or the other. The second point is resources are limited or scarce. All the resources of the economy, we can classify them into 4 categories. We call them as land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And the third point, these resources are not only scarce, these resources have alternate uses. That is, if you put a resource for one use, you can't put it for possibly for another use. That is why we have to make a choice. This problem of choice is basic economic problem. We can say here, had resources been unlimited like human wants, I repeat, had resources been unlimited like human wants, there would have been no economic problem. Imagine you have Aladdin's lamp or you have magic ring. Then you don't have to look for any solutions. You don't have to make choice. Had resources been unlimited like human wants, there would have been no economic problem. All our problems would have been solved. So that's why it's rightly said all our problems, for that matter economic problem, arise because of scarcity of resources. So that's why it's rightly said economics is making choice in the presence of scarcity. So the definition of economics comes from this scarcity definition, which is given by Lionel Robbins. What he said, economics I quote, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternate uses. So, to put it in simple words, the definition of economics is nothing but study of making choices in the presence of scarcity. So, relating to this topic, now we discuss some one-liner questions, maybe. They're important from your exam point of view. The first one, for 1 marker question, what exactly is basic economic problem? So, the basic economic problem is problem of making choices in the presence of scarcity. Problem of making choices in the presence of scarcity. So, relating to this, we can have one more 1 marker question. What are the characteristics of wants? There are 2 characteristics of wants. 1, wants are unlimited, insatiable. 2, wants differ in their intensity. Some are very intense or very urgent. Some can be postponed. Now we go to next question for 1 mark. What are the characteristics of resources? Same way, resources have 2 characteristics. 1, resources are limited. 2, they can be put to many alternate uses. What are the characteristics of resources? Number 1, they're limited. Number 2, they can be put to many alternate uses. Number 3, for 1 mark, define economics. Economics is making choices in the presence of scarcity. Very simple. They can ask you a question, why does scarcity and choice always go together? Scarcity and choice always go together. Because of scarcity, we make a choice. They always go together. Because of scarcity, we make a choice. If you have 50,000-60,000 rupees, you go to buy a scooty. If you have 2-3 lakh rupees, you go to buy a small car. If you have 10 lakh rupees, maybe you buy a bigger car. Why are you making a choices? Because of scarcity. Scarcity and choice always go together. Now we go to 1 more question. Define scarcity in economics. What exactly is scarcity in economics? Scarcity in economics is defined as, what exactly is scarcity? We keep on talking in economics all the time. Scarcity, scarcity. What exactly is scarcity? Scarcity means short supply in relation to demand. Short supply in relation to demand. Demand is there, but supply is not there. Why do all economies face the same basic economic problem or the central problems? All the economies, I told in the beginning of this topic, face the same economic problem because of scarcity of resources. All of them. The next question we have, what exactly is economizing of resources? So when you have limited resources, you never try to waste them or you never throw them. What do? You try to make the best use of them. Best use of them, that is called economizing of resources. That is called economizing of resources. Now we define 1 more question. Define an economy. You heard about Indian economy, US economy, Japanese economy, all the economies in the world. What exactly is an economy? When you talk about economy, is it a country? No. Economy is a system through which people get their living. Economy means some economic activities should take place. That is production, consumption, investment. That is an economy. What is an economy? Economy is a system through which people get their livelihood or living. This basic economic problem leads to the central problems of the economy that we'll be discussing in the next topic. What exactly is central problem? Why do we call it central problems? All the economies in the world have to face it. That's why they're called central problems. The economy, there may be small problems, but all those problems are around these three central problems. Those are what to produce and how much quantity, how to produce and for whom to produce. What to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. That of course we'll be discussing in the next video. To conclude it once again, I revise, please follow carefully. The first topic or the first unit in class 11, you have introduction. In the introduction, you have the most important topic is what is basic economics. Is the problem of choice because of unlimited wants, unlimited resources which have alternate uses. I repeat once again, all the economies in the world have to face it. Why do you have to face it? Because of these reasons. The first point we discussed already, human wants are unlimited. There is no end to human wants. The second point is resources are limited or scarce. All the resources of the economy, I told you, can be classified into 4 factors of production. That is land, labor, capital and enterprise or entrepreneurship. The third point is these resources have limited and scarce, but they do have alternate uses. And the last one, that's why we had to make a problem of choice. This problem of choice is basic economic problem. So that is the basic economic problem. The problem of economic, the problem of choice is the basic economic problem. All the economies have to face it. So relating questions, we just discussed it. So very small questions. So I repeat once again, how do you define economics? Economics is making choices in the presence of scarcity. 1. Number 2, what are the characteristics of wants? Wants are unlimited, that is insatiable, and they differ in their intensity. That means some are very urgent, some can be postponed. What are the characteristics of resources? Resources are limited or scarce and resources have alternate uses. Why do we make a choice? Why there is a close relationship between scarcity and choice? Because of scarcity, we make a choice. They always go together. How do you define economics? I just told you, economics is nothing but making choices in the presence of scarcity. What exactly is an economy? An economy is a system through which people get their livelihood. It's a system through which people get their livelihood by producing goods and services. Define scarcity in economics. Scarcity means short supply in relation to demand. What is economizing of resources? Economizing of resources means making the best use of resources. There should not be any wastage. Why do all economies have to face the same central problems? All the economies in the world have to face the same central problem because compared to their wants, their resources are limited. What are the central problems? There are 3 central problems of the economy. I told you that we'll be discussing in the next class in detail. 1 is what to produce, 2, how to produce, and 3 is for whom to produce. That's all we have time for this class. So I'm 100% sure you must have followed it. So till we meet next time, it's goodbye from Saddam Hussein. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Till we meet next time, it's goodbye. Bye-bye.